Hello everyone. I'm presenting group number 8, which was guided by external mentor Sir Hemraj Rajput and internal mentor Dhanashri Deshpande ma'am. The topic for this vertical studio was urban farming. So to understand this topic more, we first digged into the issues faced by the farmers, which were like scarcity of modern equipments and machinery. Illiteracy is one of the reasons why farmers are not aware of new techniques. Most of the times, the government plans and programs do not reach the marginal farmers. Availability of water and management. Some crops require more water than what is provided by rainfall. So here we need irrigation. In most cases, water scarcity is not the issue, but water management is, which then leads to water shortage. Small farmlands. In case of more family members, the cultivation lands at times seem to be smaller. So this is not economically feasible. Also, these days we know how high is the farm labor cost. So the scale of finance set by authorities is inadequate. Inadequate storage facilities. Agriculture zones need to be provided. Fertilizers and biocides. Indian soils used for growing need to be taken care of, so this can be done using fertilizers and manures. We looked around in the issues, but then what are the solutions upon these? Urban farming? What does that mean? Urban farming is the practice of cultivating and processing food inside the city and distributing it into the urban areas. But then why urban farming? Because when we say that cultivating and distributing there itself, it automatically lowers the transportation cost. This would also contribute in making a better environment. Access to organic farming would enhance the health of people and would also somewhere contribute to control the pollution. The next we listed down some government policies which are currently running, but then we had our own policies too, which would help in our design interventions. So the policies we proposed were making people aware of National Farmers Day, planting trees on national days such as Environment Days, making it compulsory into schools, allotting areas in schools to practice farming as a recreational activity for kids, compulsorily allotting areas for kitchen gardening for private residences. Next, we studied Nasik city and figured out some such pockets or areas where urban farming can be a possibility. They were as follows: compound walls, government schools, government offices, and community parks. Here we can do urban farming. We analyze the pros and cons of these spaces. The map of Nasik city shows the community parks marked in green and the government structures marked in pink. Also, the schools marked in blue. Then we overall analyze the trees and plants according to the places where they can be grown. Trees that can be grown inside the compound walls are listed. Let's pick up an example, say neem tree, whose foliage diameter spreads up to 20 meters and goes 20 meters in height. Accordingly, each tree has its characteristics, which helps in to decide where it would be logical to plant it. Similar was done with trees which can be planted along roadside. The foliage diameter covered the height trees reach up to and their features. Vegetable terrace gardening. As the name suggests, this is a practice of cultivating vegetables on areas like terraces, balconies, roofs, etc. This needs less soil and natural manure, which should be then combined with peats. Raised beds are then prepared, which allow more vegetation as compared to the containers. Containers need not be of fixed size, shape, or material that can be best out of waste, such as coconut shells, old buckets, old sacks, etc. Terrace gardens also reduce indoor temperature by 6 to 8 degrees, which results into reduced air conditioning cost. Here on the right is a list of vegetables used in day-to-day life and are easy to grow. We discussed about the terrace gardening, plantation in backyards and balconies. Now let's talk about external face of compound walls. Fastest growing creeper plants that can survive in Indian climate are mentioned here. These help in increase the amount of oxygen in the environment, and it is always better to look at an aesthetically pleasing green surroundings than having just walls around. Keeper plants can be taken care of in the following ways: pruning. Prune your plants time to time, or else they start eating up the nutrition from other plants. Watering daily is a must to maintain the level of moisture. Appropriate pesticides should be used to get rid of white flies, grasshoppers, and all such insects, and support to let plants grow well is essential. After analyzing all these, we finally came up with three design interventions. The first is tray planting. Tray planting, similar to the name, this is a tray module which can be repeatedly used according to the place where it's placed because of its mobility. Modules are lightweight, which can easily be adjusted in balconies, backyards, etc. Small daily used food can be grown in these, and once a plant is grown, the same module can be reused. The plan gives an idea about one module dimensions, that is 0.6 meters by 1.2 meters. Soil needed for the plants has enough space to be accommodated in, as shown in the section. The geotextile holds up the soil and allows water to pass through. The module has a sloping surface at the bottom that helps collecting water into the drainage channel, and on repeating these modules, the drainage channel directs water to a single point which does not let the water spill anywhere. The second design was on compound walls, which would maintain the oxygen level in the city and improves the aesthetic appeal. Looking at the section, we can see that there is a water stream for attracting pollinators. This is the half section of bamboo, and the rest pictures we can see how plantation can be done. Like we can cut out bottles and grow flowering plants there. Again, in the section we can see the internal side of the compound walls, which has plantation in steps. This has retaining wall blocks, compacted gravel which holds the soil. Daily needed vegetables can be grown here. Also, there would be easy access to the plants. So, since we spotted the community parks, thought was given to redesign those. Being at the center of residences around, these would be easy to access. Recreational activities and urban farming here would go hand in hand, along with providing oxygen and freshness in the air. This creates a space where there are multiple types of trees and plants growing. The plan shows two modules joined together in symmetry, and likewise multiple modules can be arranged depending upon the area of the space. 20 meters by 25 meters goes one module, having compound walls on its periphery. This also has noise blocking trees which would help in not disturbing the local residences. In the external face of these walls is a step profile which was seen in previous design intervention. A trapezoid in the middle of the module has crops grown. The paths in grey are raised up to a certain height, below which contains the water drainage channels that collect water all around, and these drainage channels lead to a certain point where there would be a water harvesting system. Let's go through a walkthrough.